What is really going on behind the scenes of Korean and Hollywood entertainment? Why would a host in Jimmy Fallon's class lose control at the mention of these two names, BTS's Jin and Shin Se-kyung? Is this just an ordinary promotion? Or is it just a confession of love that was hidden all this time that finally exploded in front of millions of eyes? And even more surprising, what did Fallon say about their marriage after the release of the album? No one expected that the evening would turn into a turning point that shook the world of K-pop and Hollywood in one breath. Jimmy Fallon, the legendary host of The Tonight Show, known for his light humor and fun talk show atmosphere, suddenly plunged the entire studio into deep silence. A name is mentioned not one, but two, that has never been openly juxtaposed internationally. Jin from BTS and Shin Se-kyung, and that made millions of eyes barely believe it, not just because they were called, but because of the line that Fallon said afterwards. This will shock armies around the world, but I just heard they're getting married after this album drops. Is this just Fallon's typical spontaneous joke? Or rather, as can be seen from the serious expression on his face, this is the truth that has been circulating only in a closed space between labels, best friends, and those who know what is really happening when the name of the genie is called All Eyes Light Up. His new album, which was not even fully released when the show aired, has indeed become a byword among the army. But what was unexpected was how enthusiastic Fallon was when discussing a video clip that he called more like a drama than a regular music video. And this is where the red thread begins to emerge. "Don't say you love me," Jimmy said in an emotional tone. He paused, looked at the camera, and continued. "It's not just a song. It's a story. It's his confession. And she's in it." She? Everyone in the studio looked at each other. But before anyone could guess who was in question, Fallon had already mentioned the name that instantly made the army flood social media, Shin Se-kyung. Questions began to appear everywhere. Why should Shin Se-kyung? Why not another Korean actress who is better known internationally? Why in this critical moment, when Jin has just completed his military duty and is ready to return to the music world, he chooses an actress who has barely been mentioned with him? And more than that, what did Fallon actually mean by the word confession? Is it just a reference to the content of the song, or is it a hidden clue to something much more personal and profound? Don't Say You Love Me is not just a song. Since the beginning of the development, this song has been designed to be a representation of emotions that are never spoken. Jin, who is known for being both sincere and mysterious at the same time, composed his own lyrics, drawing inspiration from personal experiences that he has never revealed to anyone, not even to other BTS members. And the music video that is planned to be released globally along with the album, Jin and Shin Se-kyung portray lovers separated by distance and time. This video is packaged in the form of a musical drama lasting almost 20 minutes, taking the audience on a journey of love that is melancholy, full of wounds, and full of denial. But what makes this video stunning isn't just the incredible cinematography or the emotional performances of the two. It's the chemistry so real that many of the production crew stated that they don't need to act, because what they feel is real. Even the director of the video, who declined to be named, gave an evocative statement in a closed interview. "Never before have I seen two actors so deeply immersed in their stories. Their every touch, every gaze, not just acting. It was a taste, and I can't tell if they're in love or have been in love for a long time." Is this just a promotional spice from the production team? But what if it's all true? When asked backstage, Fallon declined to comment further, but a Tonight Show staffer revealed that Fallon had accepted an invitation to attend a private wedding reportedly to be held a few weeks after the release of Jin's album. Is it really a wedding or just a celebration? No one knows yet. But one thing's for sure, Fallon isn't the type to drop such emotional statements without a solid foundation, and like adding fire to an already burning ember, netizens began to find small clues that were previously ignored. One of them was Jin's remark in his last Weverse live broadcast before the military hiatus, in which he said, "When I come back, I will bring you something truly from my heart. Maybe you will feel this is not the genie you know, but this is the most honest genie." Now that sentence sounds very different. It's not just talking about music. He was preparing the army for a much more personal truth. Shin Se-kyung herself did not issue a direct statement, but her agency only gave one short sentence in an impromptu press conference yesterday night. "We ask all parties to wait until the music video is released. All will be explained through the paper." An answer that only adds to speculation and anxiety. If this is just a video clip, why are they telling the public to wait for an explanation? Does the video contain a hidden meaning that is more than just a storyline? And tonight, when the countdown to the release of the album is only a matter of days, ARMY around the world is in an emotional state that is difficult to express. There are those who feel happy because finally the genie can freely convey her heart's content. There are those who feel worried because Shin Se-kyung is a figure who has not been known too closely by the fandom. And there are also those who feel abandoned because there is a side of the genie that has been hidden all this time and only now comes to the surface in such a huge form. Some theories have even begun to emerge, including allegations that the song, "Don't Say You Love Me," is actually Jin's last letter to someone she can't have full possession of, or rather a permission, to change their relationship publicly, from secret to overt. Whatever really happened, one thing is undeniable. Jimmy Fallon has opened a Pandora's box that cannot be closed again. With one statement that just came out during a live broadcast, he changed the direction of the narrative of Jin Shin Se-kyung and even the army on an unprecedented scale. The question now is this really about marriage? Or is this precisely the deepest form of expression of two artists who have been trapped in public expectations for too long? And if it is true that they will get married after the release of this album, is the world ready to accept the fact that true love can be born even behind such a bright stage spotlight? Or is it all part of a much more complex and painful story, which will unfold in every verse and scene of the music video? But what makes it all the more absurd, or too real to ignore, is the way Jin's face looks every time Shin Se-kyung's name is mentioned in interviews or behind-the-scenes interactions. In a leaked clip from the filming of Don't Say You Love Me, which was uploaded by the production team before it was immediately pulled due to privacy issues, Jin looks at Se-kyung with a gaze that is too honest to be called acting. There is no script line. There was no official dialogue. Just a look. But it was from the look of those eyes that the world saw something that could not be hidden behind the camera all this time: longing, admiration, and most surprisingly, tenderness that appear only when a person has kept feelings for too long. Did I ask that love? Or is it just emotional attachment in the framework of a musical project? The world is now divided into two camps. But more surprisingly, most of the army, who are usually very protective of BTS members, this time actually showed their full support. Many said, if it is indeed Jin's happiness, we will stand with him to the end. But is it really about happiness? Or are there other wounds that have not yet been revealed? Some of Jin's old fans began to dig back into archives of live broadcasts, concert footage, to old speeches that may contain veiled clues. One of the most striking is when the genie said in Festa 2022, "I've always had one little wish. If I ever have someone who means something to me, I want to introduce them through music. Just so you know, I'm not hiding him. I'm in love with him." Words that used to be considered just metaphors have now turned into declarations full of meaning. Is "Don't Tell Me You Love Me" the way Jin made that wish come true? And even more astonishing, fans discovered that Shin Se-kyung had uploaded a similar quote on her personal social media account last 2023. Love is not about being announced to the world. But sometimes, one project can show us everything without us having to explain anything. Have the two secretly been sending codes to each other for a long time? Is there a hidden love that they have been keeping from the hustle and bustle of the cameras and the media? Jimmy Fallon, amid media pressure, finally returned to issue a statement through a short broadcast on his official channel. "I didn't mean to leak anything. But if you see what I saw, you'll understand why I was so emotional that night. These two, they're more than just a couple on video. It's real. It's pure. And that, to me, is beautiful." It didn't take long for this statement to reignite a storm of speculation. South Korea's entertainment world, which is known to be very strict in maintaining idol privacy, is now really on the verge of change. If it is true that this marriage will be realized after the release of Jin's album, then this will be the most revolutionary moment in K-pop history. But does HYB know about this? Did Jin's agency allow all this to happen? Akor. And when that day comes, the day of the release of the album that millions of armies around the world have been waiting for, even counting down the seconds, no one is really ready for what is going to happen. The album, Don't Say You Love Me, was finally released at 0000 KST. And in just 10 minutes, all of the major streaming platforms in the world were instantly paralyzed due to the exploding volume of access. It's not just about music. It's a moment that redefines what a comeback means. But behind all that euphoria, there's one thing more astonishing than Jin's musical success this time around. The final teaser visual, the 40-second teaser, appeared unannounced, without previous trailers, untitled. Only appears as a short video on HYB's official channel with a simple caption, "For those of you who never give up on time." The video opens with a scene of Jin standing in the rain, wearing a white suit that contrasts with the leaden sky. The camera then highlights his injured face, but holds back a smile. And at the 20th second, Shin Se-kyung's figure appeared, not only as the lover in the story, but as himself, staring at the genie with tearful eyes, clutching a small maroon invitation. A slow zoom shows the text above the invitation: "Wedding ceremony, Kim Seokjin and Shin Se-kyung." There is no dialogue, no music. Only the sound of rain and heartbeats seem to be felt by anyone watching it. And that's when the world seemed to stop. Some fans were crying. Some are angry. Some even said they felt betrayed. But most of them were just silent, transfixed, because for the first time in K-pop history, an idol directly announced the wedding through his own musical work. Not a press conference, not a leaked scandal, and not entertainment gossip, but through art, through love. The question now changes from, is this real? Is this really going to happen in the near future? In an impromptu live performance by Jimmy Fallon just an hour after the teaser was released, he spoke up again, this time in a much more serious, almost emotional tone. "I don't know what to say other than, I'm proud of them. Jin, you kept your word. You make the whole world fall in love, and then you show them that real love isn't just for watching, but to live." Jimmy also confirmed that he had known this news for a long time. He even received a personal invitation from Jin 1 month before Jin enlisted in the military. In what he called the most honest night he's ever spent with a star, Jin confessed to him that he wanted to live life like a normal human being, not just as a member of BTS. "I want to be loved not because I'm an idol, but because I am seokjin, an ordinary man who also needs a home," Jin said at the time, according to Jimmy. The next day, HYB finally released an official statement. Short, yet meaningful. "We respect the personal choices of our artists. This album is an honest work born of a long and courageous process. We ask for understanding and support from the public." But not everyone is satisfied with such statements. Many questioned why HYB did not anticipate such a large public reaction. Why were they silent all this time, when it was clear they knew from the very beginning? And most importantly, does HYB really support Jin and Shin Se-kyung's decision? Or is this all part of a grand strategy that is more complex than we imagine? Question after question sprang up without a definite answer. Why did Jin choose Shin Se-kyung? Since when are they together? How did they keep this secret for so many years? What made them decide to get married after the album was released?
Dan.
Do other BTS members know? That night, Taehyung is seen posting a story on Instagram with a background of the night sky and writing, "Brother, always proud of you." While Jungkook only posted a heart emoji and a photo of Jin's silhouette from behind during his last concert before enlistment. No words, only emotions flow infinitely. And Jimin? He didn't say anything. But the army knew it was preparing something. Because on the same day, he was reportedly in Big Hit Studio for more than 10 hours, reportedly recording a reply song for Jin. Will it be a form of friendship? Or is there something more complicated that we don't know yet? All feelings are mixed. Some people consider this a betrayal of K-pop's unwritten rule that